The episode where Bill is introduced to his estranged family in Louisiana and Hank has to throw the football in the can is one of my favorites. However, also very confusing. Is there anybody that can help me who knows, maybe Creole tradition or French tradition or Louisiana tradition where some of this is valid? In what world does this lady here, which I think is his aunt, not tell Bill that one of these women is his cousin? Why is this a mystery situation? Why doesn't his cousin tell him that one of them is his cousin? He's there for quite some time as these women are throwing themselves at him, and nobody seems to want to tell him who his cousin is and who's available. Peggy even, breaks it down so she knows enough about the situation, but still doesn't know. It's like they're keeping it a mystery on purpose, and I don't understand that, and I'm trying to figure out why. I feel like it doesn't take much to look at Bill and see he might not get a whole lot of ladies. So, when she gets mad at him about, kind of playing around with these females, yeah, that makes sense. And nobody took him to the side and said, hey, this one's your cousin. She might be a little nasty and she might come after you, but these two are available. I think Bill, has enough restraint to be able to, take that advice and just kind of court those two and see which one he might like. Because the upside to this and the great thing, especially for Bill and his situation, is he gets probably a wife, one that loves his dirty draws, a mansion, and children, because they want him, because he's a Dauterive and they want to have his children. So he gets to have all these great things. And this older lady, his aunt, I believe, is worried, legitimately about the Dauterive name being passed on. So you would think you'd coach him a little bit, give him some advice. It's not crazy to think that any man in this situation with three women throwing themselves at him, at that man, would, maybe play around a little bit. And so to think that he would come in there with, a whole bunch of restraint without any kind of guidance or help is crazy. That's crazy. He's not a part of this family. He hasn't been for quite some time. He's from Texas. Pull him to the side, either her or the cousin, and be like, look, this one's your cousin. These two are available. They're married to your other cousins or brothers, whoever. And, just court them, be respectful, and see who you like, because who you like could be your next wife. Additionally, this house could be yours. This land could be yours. How much different would Bill's life have been after this moment had someone just pulled him to the side and just coached him and just gave him a little bit of game, instead of waiting until after he didn't messed up to then condemn him again? 2 years of loneliness out of nothingness. Don't even get me started what happens later on with the cousin and the newspaper thing. I'm going to do a whole video on that because I can go on and on about that craziness. But this in and of itself is difficult to even watch. And yes, I think at the end he does end up getting with two of them, but just a one-night stand, a one-night situation when he could have had a wife. And it also is a whole other video that I want to do, but it's a lot longer. I'll probably put on my YouTube page, which is, Bill, for a person who is like devastatingly lonely, he goes through quite a bit of women. I think it's like 9 women. And I'm going to do a whole video on that too. But this situation here in and of itself is independent. And I'm trying to figure out, what am I missing here? Why was that a secret? Why was it supposed to be some kind of game, seems like? And then it was was it a test? I don't understand it. If anybody has anything to say about this that can shed some light on it, I'd appreciate it.